time to explain to us how the recent laws that changed about 2 weeks ago affect the real estate market moving forward?
It's difficult to make a real simple answer of this because there's many layers of governmental regulation and new forms, and it's created a lot of confusion amongst the population as to what the new rules in real estate are. So let me start by saying it was a court case in Missouri, Stitzer versus Burnett, and it was against the large real estate firms like RE/MAX, Keller Williams, Century 21, Coldwell Banker, and all those companies eventually settled on the lawsuit, and so the Department of Justice has taken it upon itself, the United States government Department of Justice, to enforce this court decision on everybody across the country. So for those of you that like to go to open houses and get ideas for how you're going to decorate your house and all that stuff, everything has changed if the agent that has the listing and has the open house are doing their job properly, because everybody has to sign a form now to see a property. There's actually a multitude of forms, and there's several different ways in which you would fill out the form, whether you're being represented by an agent, and whether it's exclusive or non-exclusive, and how long it's for, all the rest of that kind of stuff. You see, the essence of the lawsuit was that real estate brokers were not being transparent typically across the country with people how agents got paid. You know, how do we make our money? And everybody knew that we earned commissions on it, but there's a lot of confusion as to what we got paid as the listing agent versus what the buyer's agents got paid. And in California, it's always been negotiable. That was a question on my real estate exam in 1975, for God's sakes. Anyway, everything will probably revert back to the way it always was, because we know that it is a smart thing for a seller to offer a commission to a buyer's agent that brings them a buyer for their house. And they also think it's smart because of the multitude of paperwork and the rest of the representation to pick somebody that's been around in the business for a while and is knowledgeable to represent them in the sale of their most valuable asset ever. So things have changed, but you know, it's kind of those things where things change, but they kind of remain the same. So just know, if you're going to go out and go to an open house, the listing agent should ask you to sign a document asking you if you're represented by another agent. And if you're not represented by an agent, they would like to represent you. But there's also, because I said there's a multitude of forms, there's about 4, and then each one of them is customizable within itself. And you could sign a form that says you're not being represented by anybody and you just want to see the house, basically, cutting to the chase. So in a lot of ways, it's a lot of smoke and mirrors, but the Department of Justice is going around, and rumor has it that they've already fined some agents. I think the fine's $2,500 for people not following the rules. And I found out a long time ago, when I was about 8, it's a lot better to follow the rules and not face the consequences of not following the rules. So anyway, that's kind of it in a nutshell. I can't give you a quick answer. That is a very complicated subject. And you know what? It's probably going to the Supreme Court, and they'll probably overturn it in a couple of years. Who knows? But right now, just know, if you want to go look at a house and you're thinking of buying a house, pick a good agent. There's a lot of good agents, and find somebody that's knowledgeable and has experience, and go with them.